이제 제가 딱 올스타를 뽑혔다고 이제 발표가 났을 때 되게 기뻤거든요. 근데 늘 이제 매드라이프 선수님이 오시다가 이제 제가 막상 오기 시작했는데 약간 룰이 바뀌면서 '아 괜히 지면 어떡하지?'라는 그런 걱정이 좀 많이 앞섰던 것 같아요. 그래서 그것 때문에 조금 더 열심히 준비했던 것 같고 아무래도 좋은 경기력을 보여드리는 게 가장 큰 목표인 것 같습니다.
Oh, it's so amazing to see the new guy at All-Star showing up, especially because he had such a great win earlier today. Anyways, it is our final 5v5 of the day. It's going to pitch LMS taking on the LCK. LMS came off a win, and LCK came off a win. So let's see what these guys are going to do in the final game.
Another one-on-one right here, and I love this because both these teams having one win means that whoever wins is most likely getting out of the group number one.
Yeah.
But I also like that it's LMS versus Korea. This is that matchup that we were talking about it before. The Korea Killers, LMS, were known as that. They've actually kind of lost that title over time, and Korea's just unkillable.
It really, really is. And of course, earlier today, it was the LMS taking down the Turkish squad. Fofo, his Zoe was great. Let's see if it's going to make it through picks and bans. I expect it'll be banned. But who knows? If anyone's going to have some sort of counter prepared, it is going to be Faker, of course. We'll see what they're going to decide to do. Jace, straight out the gate. Ornn as well. Ezreal's the other traditional one.
Yep, Xerath, I think, becomes a blue side ban in most cases. Misfortune, Azir, Jarvan. There's a lot of things. I feel like it's funny because it almost feels like there's this like top 9 champions that could be picked or banned. So you end up with 6 bans, and then it's like, oh, I trade 1 for 2.
Yeah.
That happens quite frequently.
Well, definitely a beneficial
Ooh.
to be in. No real surprise. Cannon banned against Juve.
I'm sad because I love the Spellbook Kennen. When we first came back from the Worlds break right afterwards, I was like, Spellbook Kennen, telling everybody about it. Jat's doubting me. I'm like, no, somebody's got to do it. I love all the adaptive parts of it, but we're not going to see it today. Not right now.
No, not right now. Maybe later, of course, when we get to quarterfinals, it's best of 3. And of course, the finals going to be best of 5 on Sunday. So that'll be quite exciting. Maybe some more options to let these more banned champions through, right? That's where you're going to experiment. So last ban here from LMS. 6 seconds on the clock before they decide what they're going to round it out. And it will be the Misfortune. So that flex pick, that power that you want to get out of the kick. Because if I remember correctly, was it not support MF by Gorilla that sort of introduced it how many years ago? A while? Maybe I'm a little wrong on the ownership, but yeah.
I think you're right, yeah. It was that matchup of Rocks versus SKT in the semifinal of Worlds. That's insane, and oh boy, you ready, Trevor, for another one?
What does Faker run into it? That's the question I have for you.
So, if you're going by meta, you're going Faker's Azir or his Xerath. And Faker Xerath was a meme for a while, and it's like, here's Easy Hoon, this is what, you don't have to play it anymore. He can play it for you. So if I'm, Faker, I kind of want to play Azir here up against Zoe.
Azir into Zoe. Let's see if that's the option that Faker agrees to. LMS are going to put together the makings of another pick comp. I mean, it's 2 of the 5 that they ran earlier today. Already locked in. BB got himself a pentakill in his first game of the day. And of course, it was the Blitzcrank from Sword Art, not the Tom Kench. Going to take a slightly more defensive, slightly more reactive support. I think I like that option. Gives him a little bit more flexibility both on the front foot and the back foot.
Yeah, it makes it so the poke isn't that awful either. But right here, I was about to say, the AD carries, if you don't pick one here, you're probably going to have Varus banned against you, and you're probably going to have another one that because the Misfortune and Jhin already picked up, and those not having a lethality AD carry feels bad, man. If they have one and you have 0, nah.
All right, so Varus is then locked in. Okay, phase 2 bans. Different approaches here. You've got the reveal top laner for LCK. Cube's got his hands on Gnar. Obviously going to ban out some of those champions that you don't want to run into it or deal with as far as team cons are concerned. Shen is immune response. What happens next? Will Xerath find himself in the ban pool?
Xerath, Azir, yeah. I don't know if I would really ban Xerath against Faker, but it's just so good right now. The Azir for sure.
Okay, what else can Faker run? We've got the Azir, we've got the Faker.
The Xerath.
The Xerath banned potentially. What other options are there? I mean,
I would be surprised if they banned anything other than Xerath here, just because alongside another poker in the Varus. I would be surprised if they didn't. Oh, yeah.
Can you rise into Zoe?
Ooh, mid-range versus... it's potentially...
Just trying to see what else they could be. Or maybe it's going to be something off the wall. We'll find out in a moment or two. Last ban here.
Syndra?
I mean,
Try
yeah,
all in
Syndra
her?
can work, right? You got a good range
Ooh.
there. There's the rise, banned away. So it's one of the potential options.
Yeah, they don't
Denied.
fear the faker Xerath. Maybe the Talia, the Rise, like he's played so many games at Worlds, and it's something that he's able to roam around on and affect other lanes. And even when the Xerath is up, Faker says, nope, not touching that.
Man, I can't believe I forgot Talia. Saw her a little bit earlier today as well, played by Frozen in that Turkey LMS game. It is going to be locked in, so Faker's going to have some options. It's going to be the same matchup for Fofo, but the level of opponents significantly higher.
Exactly. One of the things that people theory craft about this matchup is every time Zoe tries to go forward, you use Seismic Shove on her return point on the portal, and then you shove her in. As opposed to, reactive, like freaking out. If Faker can keep his cool, and if he can actually reach where the portal exit, or I guess re-entry is, or where you return to, you'll be able to pop him out.
Yeah, because of course you're animation locked. Once you start that portal jump, there's nothing that you can do about it. That means the Gnaw, the Flag and Drag, Cataclysm, Chain of Corruption, all of these tools can lock him down. LMS, very defensive top laner with the Maokai, and they got themselves some more poke, some more pick in the Kha'Zix to round out their team composition.
And now, what is the support? You can run support Xerath. We've seen support Xerath. We've seen support Kennen. The Taric would be kind of the best one here into the Tahm Kench. But, engage. Okay. Looking for a little bit more here. Gorilla on the Alistar. I like this. I was so afraid coming in that we were just going to get poke supports all day.
All right, we've got ourselves a Tahm Kench and Alistar. Of course, Tahm Kench can only swallow one target, and then everyone else will get knocked up. So let's see whether or not LMS stack up. Zyrene, when you look at these two team compositions, how do you think this is going to play out? What direction are both teams looking to play?
Right now, it looks like LMS, it's on the back foot for most of the game. They're going to be looking at mostly Karsa to push things forward. Otherwise, it's defensive and reactive and looking for poke from Fofo. But it looks like you could have a siege situation that goes really well for you. You can use Tahm Kench to disengage, you can use Maokai to engage, and you have two forms of poke, one of each type of damage. Now, on the other side, for the LCK, this looks like split push, roam to the split pusher, try to shut somebody down with Faker, and then Prey can wave clear as Ambition tries to kind of focus the lanes. But it seems like I would honestly say it seems like a pretty typical composition for what you would see from a Korean team, playing all of the map, not playing a particular strategy. It can siege, it can wave clear. It's a pretty good composition all around with strong points, winning lanes, I would say.
I really like that point, playing the map, the tools available to them, especially when Faker on that Weaver's Wall will be able to just, cut off any sort of engages or disengages.
Yeah, and when I'm a jungler and I'm looking at lanes, in the loading screen, I always play, how many do I have that are winning? Top lane naturally wins for Gnar. Mid lane, you should be able to have shove advantage as the Talia, and then the bottom lane, I believe, would be favored for the Varus in terms of wave clear. So, as Ambition, I'm actually looking at potentially 3 winning lanes here.
Oh man, and that's just that's options, right?
It's
that's
a playground, yeah.
Options, possibilities, any opportunity that is presented by LMS because of those lanes being under pressure. This gives Ambition, current world champion,
Yeah, it gives him
those opportunity.
like you said, opportunity, freedom as a jungler as well. One of the worst things in the world when I'm playing jungle is when you have one lane that's so damn obvious that you're gonna go there. It's like, oh, Riven versus Jace. Oh, I don't want this guy crying all game. I'm gonna go up there, right? That type of thing. Here he could go pretty much anywhere and have an okay time, right? You could have Gorilla engage on the bottom side. You get a Faker set up on this low mobility mid laner, and then the top lane is probably gonna get shoved in, so you can ward in that top jungle. Ambition has pretty much everything he would want right now from Chancellor.
Very excited to see where Gorilla goes. With that, Alistar got himself Hextech Flash Traption, as well as Celestial Body on his secondary.
Yes. So Celestial Body is one that I was kind of like, this seems like you would only take it on like Ivern and maybe Rakan, but the 100 HP for minus 10% damage for the first part of the game actually works out incredibly well. Unless you're taking a substantial amount of damage, it actually ends up positive in a lot of these trades and keeps you in lane, and then later on, you're at that neutral point where you just have 100 more HP. It's fantastic to start the game off with a boatload. Like, let's look at him right now. He's at 919 HP level 1.
Especially going into the likes of Jin and Tom Kench, right? With some of that poke, some of that, little chip damage that they like to try and get to take control of the lane. Those tongue lashes become very annoying when you're laning against a Tom Kench.
Yeah. Oh, man. Like, that's actually an absurd amount of HP. I'm still, like, stuck on that right now. 919 level 1. He almost has twice as much as Prey, who is sitting around 500 right now. 538.
Well, let's see what that does in terms of the lane as time goes on, right? How does Gorilla and Prey play this one out? Are they going to be looking for, sort of engages? Are they looking just to farm up and go into a mid-game in a good spot? There's different ways you can use that huge HP pool, and well, we're going to find out. The race to level 2 is on. The next minion wave making its way down.
Yeah, that right there, it looked like Gorilla was looking for a headbutt pulverize. He's going to take some damage. Sword Art. And Sword Art's just looking for the damage on Gorilla. He's like, you've got a large HP bar. I'm going to go ahead and take you to half.
They're going to chunk him down. Percentage HP on Tom Kent, that's going to help out against the huge HP pool of Gorilla. And of course, we'll see how that continues to play out. Catch a quick glance of Faker making his way into the LMS jungle. Puts down a ward. He's also got zombie ward, as we're seeing a lot these days. Huge amount of value in terms of vision and information against LMS.
It's so annoying as a jungler to walk around in areas that you know were previously warded, and you usually keep those timers of, okay, he'll be back here in a few minutes. But then a zombie ward pops up, and it just feels like it just spoiled that whole, 60 seconds of you pathing to get down there. So zombie ward, like you said, so much value, especially for a mid laner. I feel like zombie ward and Poro are both good, but Cube.
Oh, flashed off to the twisted advance. Karsa makes that look easy. Just good timing from Ziv and a slightly inopportune time of the flash.
Yeah, and this is where Karsa wants to go. I was talking about his lanes are going to play defensive. This is the one that has that follow-up, that CC that really is easy to land. The point and click of the Maokai. 100% you want to go up there.
Here comes Gorilla. As that stun is about to connect, Sword Art flashes away. So Summoner Spell secured, blown on the side of LMS. Advantage career.
And Gorilla just gets to zone now. Push them away. Inhibition gets to farm. It ends up being, I would say overall, kind of neutral because you got the kill on the top side of the map, but it did go over to the Kazakhs, the person you wanted on here. Nice. Really well done there in the flash W.
I love seeing long-range twisted advantage.
Yeah,
advances.
It's funny because I'm like, great flash to hit the key. He did that so well, but it is honestly something that if you screw it up or they flash first, you just have to be right on top of it.
I actually bind target champions only to spacebar.
Yes.
So I guarantee never miss those moments.
You are actually a fantastic player. There's only one other player I knew that did that, and that was Huni. Because when you turret dive, you hold down spacebar. And if you are somebody who played like a ton of StarCraft, you don't use locked camera. You're always putting your mouse at the edge of your screen, and you're just clicking the minimap. And when I watched him play, I was like, oh, that's why you never mess anything up when diving.
Well, let's talk about watching Faker play. He's level 5 into Fofo's level 5 with the help of Ambition. They're going to use that flash. Faker is already up 13 CS. Now, at this point, earlier today, Fofo secured first blood against Frozen in the same matchup. Now, Frozen maybe got caught by some poke and some damage, but look at how forward Faker is playing in the same matchup. He's already got gigantic leads.
Yeah, he's getting cover from Ambition too, and Faker is saying, you can't play this new champion versus me and expect to have a really good time here. I'm expecting this Talia to kind of have a great showing here. You know what? I talked about it so much where it's like I'm in that kind of hate Zoe camp.
Yes.
I hope Faker does me proud today. I hope that he's able to shut down this Zoe madness. Show me how you're supposed to play against this.
Well, it looks like forward seems to be the answer. Dodges the sleepy... No, I take it back. It's caught by the sleepy bubble.
But
the Paddle Star had already been fired. Flashing cleanse are available. Great seismic shove. Faker with 100 HP flashes away. More Sparkle's damage had already been rocked. So Faker forced to summon a spell out as Karsa gets the game.
We're doomed. Quick shot. Even Faker can't play against it.
Well, to be fair, that's a 2v1. However,
that's true.
However, the sleepy bubble definitely still caught him. And you see how impactful that 2-second sleep is.
Yeah, and it looked ridiculous because Fofo walked up with no mana just to auto-attack him, and then Karsa came out. So Karsa getting that summoner spell mid and affecting the game so far.
All right, let's see whether or not Now, if Faker can no longer play as aggressive and shut down Fofo in the mid lane, that's what's going to prove beneficial, but it's flash for flash, both secured.
I love this from Faker. Merc Treads, very first item. I am 100% Merc Treads versus Zoe every game. As a jungler, I'm just going to do it. It's like when people were buying Ninja Tobbies against Lethality. It's like, this is the easiest boot buy of my life. And it's first item for him.
Yeah, got to reduce the effectiveness. Caster's going to leap away to safety. Smite comes down. I think Ambition won that one.
Yep.
Looks to be the case. And this time around, in comparison to the previous game where Mike Young went in for that invade, didn't have the support early enough, this time around, LCK and Korea, they were there on time, maybe even too early, but it worked out.
Yeah, you're telling me there's a difference between North America and Korea in terms of how we're approaching the jungle? I'm blowing my mind, Trevor. I'm learning so much from this international cast.
Oh, I'm just saying what I'm seeing, man.
Yeah.
I'm saying you're inferring it.
Yeah. But seriously, being on the same page, you saw, I was like, oh, we have priority. Let's roam into the jungle and try something.
And every time we see Faker, he's going forward. I mean, still plus 15 CS, both flashes blown.
Yeah, winning lanes across the board. You look at the CS, every single lane in Korea, winning in CS, naturally winning lanes from the draft. Korea loves it. This is why they have Jace banned against them all the time. Not because it's like, oh, we don't know how to play Jace. It's like they know how to use Jace for a natural lane advantage. And then,
oh,
look
at that. Two-man stack. Sword Art gets knocked up into the air. Gonna get locked down once the chains proc. He gets a good deadly flourish in return. Now Gorilla's running for his life. Body blocked by Prey on shots 2. 3 goes wide. 4 hits him for the crit. Nobody dies yet. Summoner heals used on both sides, and Sword Art used both of his summoners.
yeah, BB with a really early heal there, but making sure that they could just continue it and get something back. So it ends up being mostly support damage.
Man, look at the CS difference. Those winning lanes that you've mentioned a few times, Irene. It's plus, what, 16 CS for Prey? That is a huge amount right now, and Sword Art...
He's going to have to help BB back. Like, you're going to have to help him kill this cannon minion, get in there before the Alistar comes back, and get a back time.
Use that Devour, push the wave down. All right, back timing is secured. Prey, he picked himself up that Tear of the Goddess fairly early on, as well as the Serrated Dirk. Bubble goes flying wide, trying to help out Casa in his own jungle. Ambition got, I think, 2 or 3 of those small chickens. And Fofo, level 8, on his W, that spell piece, he's got the Hex Tech Proto Belt, actually. So, has the ability to combo. If Faker steps out of line, he's still flashless.
Yeah. Ziv actually using the ultimate up there. Looked like he was trying to get something, went in the opposite direction. But yeah, like you said, this mid lane has not been going as well for Fofo. It just seems like there's so much pressure from Ambition. And look at these control wards already set up from Korea across the river. Full river control. Now you have to watch out for this Alistar that's going to flash on you and this Jarvan constantly. So if your flash is down, Cataclysm, prime target. Right now, Ambition is just set up. I feel like the winning lanes transitions into that vision, which transitions into you get to do whatever you want as a jungler.
Yeah, 800 gold lead as we're getting close to 10 minutes, despite the fact LMS have got first blood. They're the ones that are falling behind because of the huge CS discrepancies. I mean, every single lane down. You know, 300 gold lead for Juve, a little bit under 300 for Faker, nearly 300 for Prey. It is all adding up.
Yeah, and First Blood did go over to Karsa, and he's even with Ambition here. An assist, 200 gold went over to Ziv. Oh, Karsa in the face of Faker.
So much isolated damage. That panel saw needs to find a target.
Oh, Fofo!
There goes the portal. Fofo gets a kill onto Faker once again with the help of Karsa. And it's going to be the blast going to safety from Ambition, but every time Karsa works with Fofo, they get themselves a kill.
Yeah, and we've been seeing this shift from Kha'Zix for kind of a while now, where you evolve the ultimate first. So he was traveling through the bushes straight into there. Kha'Zix is the new Evelyn, basically is how it works. If you're in the river, he could be anywhere. And Faker face checks him, and he's just sitting there, waiting, pops the ultimate for further chase. Doesn't even have to blow flash.
Yeah, great timing. Is this from LCK Vision?
Yeah. When did you see him? Nowhere. Evelyn, boom! There he is. Karsa in the bush. Even through that control ward, wasn't able to see him.
Just great pathing. I think Karsa actually hopped over the wall, if I recall correctly. Either way, I mean, just great pathing, right? Like, really well played, and Karsa using that evolved off to flawless effect.
Yeah, and even that control ward, I feel like it kind of tricks you sometimes, because I've seen many times people just sneak by the wall, and it doesn't always show.
So, great play. LMSA still within touching distance gold-wise. sitting on 500 difference. They're going to continue to try to recover this early deficit they find themselves in. Huge amount of farm advantage for LCK's all-star squad. And every time we see Ambition, he's prioritizing majority of his time in the bottom half of this map. Look, it's another invade on the Raptor camp. It's another deep control ward just in front of that red buff. On the LMS side, I think Carson may just walk in and find it. Yes, he did. Killed out camp by Slaughter. But other than that, the gank in the top lane, much earlier on, Ambition is doing a great job of focusing around the bottom half of the map.
Okay, so I went to triple check something. Control wards do not see Kha'Zix in stealth.
There we go.
Because it's technically invisibility, and you need true sight to see it. So when we changed camouflage and invisibility, so they did not spot Karsa there. So the control wards aren't going to do a damn thing for you in those rivers, bushes.
Thank you very much.
Sorry.
I'm not a Kha'Zix player. I'm not a Kha'Zix player nor a jungler, so news to me. As now Karsa is going to continue to push out, clear out his jungle. Get himself 1-0-1. Sleepy Bubble tags onto Faker. Very good shot from that paddle star. And Fofo now starting to turn the tide. He's got the completed Morellonomicon. And you can see when he lands the CC, just how much control he's afforded by that damage.
Yeah, and Zoe, you're constantly rolling the dice. What am I going to get on Spell Thief from this minion? And just, it gives you an advantage. And you can see he's already dealing more damage to Faker with that single skill shot of the Sleepy Trouble Bubble. And then following it up afterwards, where Faker, I wonder when this cleanse will come online, when he's going to start using that. Feels like this is the one that's going to kill him.
Yeah, I guess keep an eye on how much damage there is. Oh, that was fantastic! Ziv dodges the crunch with a twisted advance.
He pressed the W. No, this time it was
Timing
actually
was
good.
so
the timing
good.
was really well done on it.
But it's true, like when you actually cover the mechanics. All right, the engage has continued to break out in mini Nav form. Now Cube is trying to turn this around. He gets hyper, throws out a boomerang. Ziv, however, tagged by Airy, and Ziv's gonna back away. So it's makings of some tankiness on the side of Ziv into Black Cleaver for Cuba. I actually don't think you want to go toe-to-toe with mini Nas autos and a Black Cleaver.
Yeah, and also the fact that Cube, it looked like he had a nullifying orb, so he was reducing some of the magic damage afterwards. But look at this. Bottom lane time.
All right, Gorilla and Prey under pressure. Prey's the target. He's isolated by Karsa. That's the second kill of the game. Devour and smacked out by Sword Art. Gets slept. And that's another for Karsa. 3-0-1. Tower First Blood went to Korea, though.
Yeah, and now they're going to have to push out bottom and get something back here besides just this turret. They got the kills. You're going to want control of the Drake area, but you don't want to lose top tier 2 as well. Nobody's backing just yet. There we go.
All right, tower traded. LMS, that was a very good play. Duskblade of Drakstar already completed for Karsa, and he's got himself that Skirmisher Saber as well.
Yeah, he said, screw Warrior Enchant. It's all about Duskblade. When you have the ultimate leveled up and you have it evolved, you're constantly getting the Duskblade, you're constantly popping out, and you can get multiple Duskblades in a fight.
All right, Ambition now going to try to turn this one around. Sword Art and Karsa running for their lives. Here's the Void Assault as Karsa gets interrupted. And Ambition's able to escape actually with his life. It's still a 500 gold lead for Korea as they're going to start the Dragon, but this is the replay of LMS got the double.
And Karsa is over the wall. He places the ward there to start the play, and you can see Gorilla and Prey already in retreat at the first sign of danger. That was actually, I would say, really heads up from both the bottom laners on the Korean side, but it's still not enough. It's just a ridiculous play where 5-man bottom lane, it's party time, and no backup.
LCK, they did get first Tower Blood, they did get the first Dragon of the game, but now Gorilla and Prey are flashless. Sorry, it is just Prey that is flashless for the time being. So let's keep an eye on whether or not he gets jumped on, because Karsa's been everywhere this game. He was the guy that we started the day talking about, Zyrene, the hero of the LMS, one of the most decorated players. He's been around a very long time, and now he's leading LMS to a good opening salvo against Korea.
Yeah, and he got to play to Ziv at the very first part of the game and got that first blood for himself, and now he's been playing to Fofo, and now in the bottom lane, so he's been all over the map affecting it. And now you get to see kind of what he looks like when he's unleashed, when he has all these laners, but right now, it looks like people are just still falling behind in lane, so as a jungler, it's all about damage control.
Yeah, damage control. That means damage dealing in his case.
It's very true.
We caught a quick glance there of Fofo pushing in Faker this time around. Got himself a Sheen, so Fofo going for Lichbane once again. It feels like the tables have turned a little. Now all of a sudden, Fofo shoving that wave in. I think you mentioned it earlier today, the level 7 backline kills.
Level 7, level 8, you kill caster minions just with the Paddle Star damage. You don't really need much AP behind it at all. But he also had a Gunblade when we saw him earlier. And I know people have been like, why does Gunblade have like a level 1 value? I'm like, this is why. Because you could get it level 1 technically. So, level 12 though, still hanging on to it.
Faker's just going to shove the wave back, and Fofo doing relatively well. Still down 20 CS, but a kill and assist will contribute to the farm deficit he finds himself in. The Korea, again, this is the style. It's about
Karsa
to get
going in.
Here comes Karsa. Stolen! Karsa smites it down. No, it's Ziv that actually picks it up. There's Ambition. He jumps away. Cataclysm comes out. Karsa survives. Here comes Fofo for the assist. Karsa gets another. The skip. And Karsa escapes with his life. Gets slipped. Faker is down. Fofo gets another. 6 kills to 0 in favor of LMS.
Oh, Faker looked like he ended up cleansing there, and he still falls asleep because it's a 2-part CC. He cleanses the root, and then it's night-night for him.
Oh man, Karsa, I think he also got a big heal there from the W. We'll catch on the replay in a moment or two. Demolish onto the top tower with the Rift Herald. His tower number 2 falls in favor of LMS. That evens it up with Korea's 2 towers secured.
And what's mind-blowing about these games for me is every time I watch them, I'm like, how does Korea have that type of gold difference when they have 0 kills and there's 6 on the other side? Well, we'll talk about that after this. Right here, he still gets the smite, picked up by Ziv, and then the Sleepy Trouble Bubble. Cuvee picks it up, falls asleep, and then, the Summoner Heal helps save him there. Oh, yeah, gets a flash, picks it up, but still, Drowsy, cleanse, falls asleep after, lines it up for him. So much pick potential when you have a Jhin and a Zoe. One of those skill shots lands, the other one's landed.
I'm trying to remember what Faker's quote was that made it to Reddit a week ago. I know it's preseason, but I feel Zoe is...
Broken is...
There we go. That's pretty much how it ended. Nevertheless, I mean, look, despite the kill, Faker is 300 gold down. And that is because of this, like, 35 CS advantage. 2-0-2 on Fofo. And now we're getting to mid-game, right? 20 minutes, it's even in gold, despite a 6-kill advantage. And this is where LMS have to shine. They've had a great start, they've had great kills. I mean, it's all on Karsa's shoulders. But this is where they have to take over the game, isn't it?
And when you look at where the gold is, carry top laner for Cuvee, and Prey has more gold than BB does. Mostly it's that jungle that's kind of lopsided and a little bit of that mid lane. But the way that I'm looking at it here is Korea, their basics are just so damn good. Every single time I see them, when I look at the CS per minute numbers for entire teams, you're looking at people like, when you hit like a 9.5, you're just like Farm City. This is like reckless split push having high CS per minute.
Yeah.
But there's only a finite amount of farm in the entire game. So hitting those breakpoints, usually it's like you're 9.5, so one of your other carries is like 8.7.
There's a cost to it.
Exactly. Korea, consistently, I see players have 9.7, and then it's like 3 people on the team. SK Telecom came into Worlds with 4 people above a 9.0 CS per minute, and you're seeing it in this game too. It's ridiculous.
And I mean, that's exacerbated by something you mentioned earlier, that the team comp favors him as well. Like, you said there's like laning advantages here for the Korean squad. And it's showing himself, not only the ability of the players, but the abilities of the champions. Now, as the last few minutes of setup has occurred, Karsa and Fofo went hunting. They were looking for Faker in the jungle. Threw down that Void Assault to Karsa, didn't find anyone.
Yeah.
And Ziv, however, is going to find Cuvee. The support from that Abyssal Void, Sword Art's going to bring in a little bit of damage from Karsa. And despite the Mega Knot from Cuvee and a 3-man stun, Cuvee's going to flash to safety. Cuvee's going to escape. Here's the chase down from Ziv. Another stun comes out, Deadly Flurry. Everybody's involved there. Cuvee, that was actually phenomenal play.
Yeah, but they don't get anything for it on the Korean side. Nobody's split pushing, nobody's gaining anything across the map. So it was a phenomenal display, but nobody really capitalizes on it.
Not this time round. Just take stock. It's a 300 gold lead now for LMS. They've taken control ever so slightly
300 gold over the Koreans. They're doing it.
for 7 kills. Like that's
Yeah.
1 kill worth of gold,
And-
and the other 6 are accounted for in farm.
That feels so strange in a game where you're like, we have killed them 7 times, even in turrets. We got Rift Herald, and we feel like we can't pressure them.
Yeah.
This is how you win without getting kills if you're Korea. You have those winning lanes, and you have to get kills for the LMS to even stay close in the game.
Boss looking for the 1v1 and he finds it. Duskblade and that warrior dodging and jumping around the damage. It got hairy for a moment, but he survived.
Bringing back the Korean killers for the LMS there. 8-0, but it's still Korea.
Yes. And also, the Korean composition was about playing the map.
Yeah.
Now we're getting to this point where 2 towers for 2, the map is opening up. Let's see what they can do. I know we are harping on about this quite a lot, I feel like.
Kind of the story of the game right now in terms of the advantage.
Right,
So
LMS.
I feel you on that.
Where do they go? We've obviously got Casa, who's playing out of his mind. I mean, he's going to be able to solo anybody. Got himself a serrated Dirk, got himself the longsword. Let's talk about the rest of this comp. Where does Ziv and Sword Art and BB get involved to work with Casa?
Oh, you don't want to talk about Fofo? No. But yes, BB's a lot of the follow-up or the pick, and Ziv, he has to just kind of stay even on the side lane with Juve, or make a decision with the team that he's going to start engaging and using his ultimate proactively. Because that's something you could really see help them out to get Baron control, get vision control. Because I feel like their pick when they have vision control on the LMS's side is stronger than Korea's right now. Look at that. Speaking of pick, Faker down.
My words. That is actually disgusting. Casa 7-0-1. Prey gets chunked down by the paddle star. Now remember, the curtain call could be opened up, setting up another potential shot. There goes the bubble. Gorilla gonna sidestep it, and here's the siege that you talked about in Picks and Bans, Irene. LMS just play their poke game, force Korea to dodge, and then they can look to get chip on the tower.
And I was telling you, there might be some split push from Cube, but looks like Ziv and Cube on the side. Ziv was coming in to maybe get a flank ultimate here.
Gonna get the chance though. Cube's gonna go Mega Gnar. Throws out what I think is a space station. Look at the damage there from that deadly flourish.
But meanwhile, Karsa, the unlikely split pusher, top lane, killing the turret. You talked to me about how they're gonna get involved with Karsa. Maybe Karsa can just do it all. Maybe Karsa is exactly what they needed, and he's the guy who's just gonna take over the game. Now can they get something off of this?
Casa's gonna try, looking for an escape. Gonna avoid assault over the wall. Threaded volley, not
I
enough
think he's
to
out.
kill him. And it feels
Faker ulti?
like he has flashes available to him. Nobody's chasing. Oh, Blast Cone, a little bit of a misstep. Actually, a big misstep. That's gonna force the flash. That really sucks.
Whoa.
7-0-1, taking over the game single-handedly, and he fails the Blast Cone. But at least we can see the players, and they are laughing and
Oh,
smiling.
he's having a giggle about that one. He's having a good laugh. Because that was one of those plays where you're so challenger, you end up bronze real fast from there. Huge commotion on that last go.
Ella giggle, as it were. And by the way, it's a quiet 2,000 gold lead now for LMS. Thanks, I think, almost exclusively to Casa. Actually, in fact, 2,600 gold lead to Casa over Ambition.
I mean, he's 7-0-1 right now. Ridiculous performance from him right now.
I can't believe we showed that. That was...
It's like he's outplaying. He's solo killing Faker twice, but blast cones are still something that are hard to figure out. Like, I want to get on that level.
There we go. Now I'm starting to believe. Now I'm seeing the Casa plays and the damage he's got. I think the only person he cannot 1v1 like instantaneously is Cube. And I still think there's room for him to outplay there, even against Irandians. We'll see if that actually materializes, because LMS, they've now got to play the map. How do they play the map with their composition? Let's find out.
He got spotted there. He wasn't fast enough to get. Oh, Gorilla.
Very good play by Gorilla. Gonna get put to sleep by Fofo. The paddle star's gonna just fall short. But Gorilla with a very good engage on that headbutt pulverize.
Yeah, and that's, as a Kha'Zix player, you really have to watch out for is what time you're engaging. Whoa, my God, Frey, he never saw it!
Frey's gonna be forced to flash. Chain of Corruption comes down. Now all of a sudden, Costa's in trouble. Devour buys just a few more seconds as Fofo jumps back in. Battlestar gets the damage down as a fight on two fronts. Seismic shove, that catches out Fofo. Summoning heal used, Flash and heal still available. Sword Art's now the target. He's gonna need that gray health to stay alive. Not gonna use it just yet. Nobody dies!
How? How did nobody die there? Sword Art is like one hit away. Karsa was invisible for half that fight. Gets spat out, still in the Cataclysm, and then he still had leap away.
Unbelievable, but it manages to happen. Caster's looking for the re-engage on that Void Assault, but not going to go forward as he continues to jump out of vision. 9-0 in favor of LMS. Minion Wave is going to get cleared out here, and LMS, they looked for another pick, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, and I feel like Karsa, he's got the right mindset. You're playing this Kha'Zix, you're ahead. If you just sit around and try to siege, it's not going to work. You have to go for those aggressive picks. It sucks as the Kha'Zix because you want to be follow-up engaged. You want somebody else to go in first so that they eat the headbutt pulverized, ate the CC. Yeah. Or you're just bursting somebody. He's trying number 2.
Where does Costa go itemization-wise? Got Ghostblade, Dustblade.
Ooh, okay. I feel like it's Black Cleaver for standard builds. Potentially Sterix, but I feel like it would be Black Cleaver here. This is where the build gets a little bit unfun, where you're not really building exactly what you want. Maybe more lethality, and he's going for Edge of Night, which does have HP on it now.
What would you say would be the right item? Right, like looking at the state of the game, looking at how squishy he is and whatnot. What would you theory craft? Let's see, there's two tanks going head to head. I don't think there's kill threat here.
I would say Black Cleaver, but it's a little unfun. I think him going for Edge of Night and trying to get in there and like make sure Prey has to do another spell before disengaging him would be fantastic.
Well, we'll see what he decides to do in a moment or two. I like the idea of Edge of Night. I like going more lethality, but look at that panel star. Prey and Gorilla, they're going to be forced away. The Bubble's going to at least zone out the LCK reps. Now Casa jumps over the wall, gets one, looks for another hit, but Pulverize connects though. He's going to get shut down. That's a big bounty of gold to LCK and their first kill of the game.
First kill of the game, only 2,000 gold difference though. They're looking for picks on the retreat. This is a hard situation to navigate. Ambition, hit.
All right, he's going to get slept, but very far away. Mega Gnaw from Cubase, decent but not amazing. Ziv is going to throw down Nature's Grasp. That's going to fly
on
the map. Cubase in trouble. Ambition will get dropped down after the Cataclysm. And there goes the curtain call. It ends up being a 1-for-3, and LMS got the tower.
Oh, this is one of those games where you're sitting there going, I feel like Korea's going to get back in it any moment now. When is it going to happen? So far, it hasn't yet. They keep bleeding some objectives here.
Look
on
at
Faker.
that, the sleep. Where's the paddle star? The engage comes out. It's BB that gets the kill. Now Gorilla's running for his life. A flash away. There, Gorilla with a very good disengage onto the Raptor camp. Gets put good sleep, and good night, Gorilla.
Oh my God. Now they're going to go for the bear, and they have a Kha'Zix, a lot of damage to it, and they're going to pick it up. It's 4,000 gold lead, 14-1 though.
Man, what a great play. Casa 8-1-1. He took over the early game. Now the decision-making has been great. Piercing arrow from Prey will get wound up, will get fired, and it will not be enough. Easily secured there by Casa and the LMS squad. They are 1-0 on the day. They're looking to go 2-0 and potentially top the group.
Exactly. This would be so unexpected. The Korean Killers have been absent for almost 2 years now, and now they're finding that shred of hope again against this team that has world champions across it here. Cube picked up Ambition, ate another sleep. Oh, the two that drop immediately. And then there was that 1-for-1 near the start.
I'm trying to remember, was it Reckless on the analyst desk earlier today that said he feels like Kha'Zix could be good in this meta?
Yeah, it was.
Well, Costa says, I concur, buddy. Definitely making that one shine. This is the third dragon of the game. Korea got both previous ones, Ocean and the Cloud. LMS will get this, the Mountain, and that will set us up for a 36.5-minute Elder. So, relatively early, but with Baron buff set up, now LMS can play that siege game even more, so.
And speaking of the Siege game, a death cap on Zoe, third item. I was expecting Void Cap, I was expecting Leandri's. I mean, the Lich Bane already came through, but I was not expecting a death cap this early because Zoe usually isn't AP based for the most part. You're waiting for that long range. You're trying to get burst in there. Luden's Echo we've even seen for more mobility in burst. But this death cap, I want to see who he's able to one-shot. Where is the limit? Who does he stop at?
I mean, it actually was the Ludens in the game earlier today against Turkey. Fofo 306, another great performance. BB 107. Also, another great game. He's got Dustblade, Ghostblade, Rapid Fire Cannon, now making his way towards that Infinity Edge. Mirror Man has been completed for Prey for a little while. Has obviously upgraded. Or sleep there onto Ambition. He's going to be able to escape with his life. Gets the Locket of Iron Solari from Gorilla. Piercing Arrow shuts down Casa and BB's additional siege. But Ambition forced to flag, drag, and flash just to stay alive. Costa's still hunting, by the way, so he's evolved W, E, and R as far as his 3 level ups are concerned. 215 CS, and he continues to hunt, as I read.
Constantly looking for more kills. Can't let that wind get blown out of your sail here.
Where is Faker? He's looking for Sword Art. The threaded volley is tagging them down. Zip's stuck on the front line. But that's actually the best one to be there. Gorilla's ultimate times out. It's Zoe that gets the kill credit. Curtain calls fire. The shot's still waiting on the next one. BB finally sends it wide. Doesn't find a target. Sword Art will save Zip's life with the great timing on the Devour. Grey Health saves his life with the timing on the E. Now Fofo's looking for that panel star. Won't find a target just yet. The Sleepy Bubble won't sleep anyone for a while. And LMS will get the tower. They also got the kill.
And now 7,000 gold up. This is not that trivial lead. We're seeing the LMS in the driver's seat now. And we're talking about how they were playing against Turkey. And Turkey looked exhausted after the game. 33 minutes of dodging skill shots left and right. You have this Jin W. You have the Jin ultimate. You have Fofo throwing out the Zoe E and the Q. Everybody on the Korean side, they have to be on their game. And so far, there's been punishes left and right. And you have to watch out for Karsa. He could be right on top of you.
Yeah, he really, really can. Karsa, man, this is going to throw the bracket stage into a little bit of a spin, because if LMS close this out, that means LCK most likely taking second and the number 1 on the other side of the bracket. That's going to be interesting. Could set us up for a potential LMS LCK final. I'm calling it now, game 6.
Oh.
No, it's way too early to say that. Way too early to say that.
The rematch, Korea, you make Faker angry, he comes for you in the finals.
We'll find out. I really like that play from Ambition. It feels like every time he hits gets caught by the bubble, he buffers up that EQ and manages to escape.
Yeah, if you get hit by the bubble, that's really all you can do is try to get as fast away, get far away as possible, as fast as possible. Like, if you're Tristana, you better be mash and jump. Get out of there.
Does Castle win this? We're about to find out. Dum, 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 dum. With the help of Ziv, he
Right on
sure as
top.
hell does. Gets a root down onto Cube. There go the roots. They're flying forward. But support from Prey and Gorilla and the rest of LCK means it's Ziv that's about to get cut down where he stands. But is his bark bigger than his bite? The Gnaw sends him backwards, and Ziv will get run down. Not before Sap Magic buys some time.
He just needed to live for long enough that they could get on the bottom turf. They're not going to get anything for it because Faker was on top of it.
Manages to clear out the wave using all of the kits. Karsa and Ziv unable to shut down Cube. Second kill of the game goes to Korea, and it is Ziv that was the donator.
They went for an aggressive play. Like I said, Karsa wants to keep that tempo up, but it's at that point where you really have to be looking for carries to burst them, but the carries, they're going to be way far in the back, and they have defenses now.
What about the fact that both major buffs are now spawning in a minute and a half? So in terms of the state of the game, it is still a gigantic lead, 6,000 LMS. They've got a Mountain Drake, 5 towers for 2. Like, they're really, really, really on control of the map. Where do they focus to take control of the game? Get those super minions or get on the Nexus?
I think it's more Baron than it is Elder Dragon. It usually is, because the Baron will help you manipulate waves, and playing against a Baron, it's harder to shove out and do what you want. So I feel like Baron the push of the minion waves is stronger than the Elder Dragon, which would be a 3-stack on Korea, but it would force them to fight, and finding a fight with this composition isn't always the easiest thing against this long-range poke from the LMS that could dissuade you. So Baron is the short answer.
I like it. And of course, vision is going to be very important for that. You can see Alcine has pretty good vision around the area. Prey took a gigantic chunk.
Oh, he didn't reach him!
That was BB going way too far forward. He gets dropped down. Now it's a 5v4 in favor of Korea with 30 seconds to Baron. That was not what you wanted to do. Karsa's going to have to pull off something magical as Fofo's spamming out those paddle stars. And LCK, they backed away for now.
Man, BB, he really just wanted to make that play. If he shoots down Prey, he still probably trades his life there because he just gets absolutely obliterated. But trying to make the highlight, Ambition.
That took a lot of damage. The sleep will at least be far enough away, so there's body blocks.
Yeah, this cooldown is so low. Paddle Star up again. It's ridiculous.
So difficult to play around. A Gorilla gets tagged. More sparkles on that paddle star. Bubble is gonna find its way into Cuvée, but there's no further follow-up. In actual fact, Karsa and Ziv, they're trying to sneak this one. It has to be because of vision and the pushing wave down bottom.
Able to sneak in there. They were able to take out a few wards. They kind of know they're in the area, but they don't want to go for it. That's going to be Elder Dragon, which will help them get that Baron. So, looks like it was the easier one to get because the objectives were kind of covered.
And of course, vision in favor of LMS, right? That sets up from earlier. When they were pushing the bottom wave, remember when Karsa engaged up top? Sort of timing. Fofo's going all the way forward. Abyssal Void.
Karsa on Faker!
Oh! Faker runs away with his life. Seismic shove was so well placed. Karsa read it though.
He wants another!
Continues to chase. He leaps forward. Prey manages to flash out to safety. Now all of a sudden Karsa's in trouble. Turns it back around. Gets the missiles out. Tastes their fear. Onto Ambition. Not going to be able to get the kill. Prey gets the shutdown at the cost of Gorilla's life. 1 for 2 in favor of the LMS. With the Elder Dragon buff, the base is being destroyed.
And Fofo just having fun with all these flashes on the ground. Flash it for fun. Flash it forward. They're looking for more here. They want these turrets.
Oh man, LMS in a 4v3. They're looking for the Nexus. Fofo's the target. Got a flash available to him. Ambition got slept. Gonna sidestep the W from Jin. Continues to escape with his life. Ambition on 200 HP. He's run away. Cuvée forced to hop away. He's escaped. Now he's drowsy. Where's the paddle star? Went towards the minions instead. Nexus tower not gonna get killed though.
Yeah, the minion wave was stalled out. They didn't fully clear the minions, and they went for a dive instead, and they didn't get anybody. LMS could have played that slow and killed the minions to push forward.
Didn't do that and didn't set up around Baron. Went for the game-winning play. I don't want to say it backfired, but it didn't work out. There we go. It didn't work out.
Yeah, but I feel like Karsa, he just got both Prey and Faker's flashes, and he's about to have his up. That's the kind of play that as a jungler, even if you don't end the game, you're still in a good spot.
I just love that Karsa doesn't hop over with the seismic shove.
Immediately, yeah, he waits, kills him with the pounce, goes after Prey here, and he tries to style on him. He tries to do maybe a double jump there, but he waited. He cloaked, and then he went over, but he still pulls 2 people to him, whereas the rest of his team is doing work and killing Gorilla, who is buying time.
The rest of the play breaks out. Obviously, that went up towards the Nexus turret. Damage done last fight.
Yeah.
Really spread across the LMS carries.
Yeah, and it's interesting because a lot of the time the Kazakhs will like fall off in the late game, but with lethality in the current state it is in the ultimate evolution, people have found ways to kind of make it work, and Karsa is skirting these fights because it's not easy to make it work.
All right, LMS now. Got to turn their attention to Baron as Elder Dragon's just about to time out. That's a fairly well-used Elder Dragon. They've got supers in the mid lane. But this is going to be a 4-on-5-on-5, Zyrene.
This is actually an insane Baron. I feel like it's just a bait chunk, and they're going to engage.
Unbreakable Will is used by Gorilla early. Normally that means it times out and he dies. Ziv is forced to run away. Here comes Karsa. He almost 2-shots Faker. Faker's running away. Asleep onto Gorilla.
Karsa in the back.
Not going to be enough. Karsa gets the second. Leaps over for Prey. Leaps out to safety. Cuvé's the target. He's gone low. Mega Nars time. 3 members of LCK are down. The Devour from Sword Art buys more time.
That's it.
Root locks down Cuvée. LMS may have done it. Guardian Angel just popped for Cuvée. Super minions being ushered into the base by Sword Art. And LMS, they're making their way into the base.
Korean killers are back, baby. The LMS taking these fights. We saw Korea with the lane advantage. We saw them down multiple kills, and LMS said, no, you're not coming back today.
Nexus turrets get burst down. The LMS may have closed out the game, but it was Karsa that killed this game.
What a game from Karsa. You can see everybody's just like, this guy was the focal point in the early game, losing lanes across the board. Where is he gonna go? Top lane gets a kill, affects mid, affects bottom with the TP play ward, and then the rest of the game, Faker is not happy about that one. 1-7-2 is the score line.
What a performance. Phase 2 Kha'Zix for Karsa. He ends up going 11-3-5 and completely took over that game. I mean, the celebration was great. You got AHQ, Flash Wolves, and J-Team all represented from the LMS, and they're hopping, skipping, and jumping and hugging because it was just such a great performance from them.
Honestly, all of them, across the board, it was a very clean game. No deaths for Sword Art, 1 for BB when he flashed forward, 0 for Fofo, Ziv when he went on Karsa's play, and the rest was like Karsa trying to make plays, trying to come up huge, and he did.
The best thing about it is just the timing. You know, you go back, you can make a highlight reel of Karsa's plays, of course, that's the easy, but when you look at how he flanked, when he did it, what he dodged to do so, there's a very few number of mistakes throughout the whole game.
And the thing I really love about this Kha'Zix pick from him is he abused what Korean teams usually go for, is minimize mistakes by using vision. He went through vision with the evolved R, kills Faker, who thinks this is his safe side of the map. So Karsa, usually you trade sides of the map as a mid laner. He went on Faker's strong side because of vision, kills him, really just sets the game in his own pace, and he keeps doing that type of thing to Faker in the side lane.
It's like, what's that meme where Karsa's like, you can't lose to a team with superior vision if you can avoid their vision. It worked out so well. You know, we talked about it, the invisibility and the fact that the stealth wards don't see him, because LCK had significantly better ward placements throughout the majority of that early game. They were down 7, 8, 9 kills, and even in gold. Like, that is phenomenal, but it didn't matter.
It didn't matter, absolutely. And like you said, I feel like a big part of this is Karsa is reading what the norm is, and the Kha'Zix breaks that norm because Faker is playing to that side because it's his safe side. He should be doing that by the book. But against the Kha'Zix, he was able to abuse that, and Karsa got a gigantic lead and started snowballing the entire game for his team.
So, talk to me about the groups now. What does this do for the state of All-Star 2017? We've just finished day 1 of the 5v5s. We've got China and LMS at 2-0.
Yeah, well, as a North American, I'm feeling a little bit better because China versus LMS wouldn't happen until the finals. It would be China versus Korea in the first round, maybe LMS versus North America, but Europe is still something that can come up and contest for that number 2 spot. So,
well, we're gonna have to see.
Over.
Yeah, 6 games tomorrow. We'll find out what it does and whether who's gonna join whom in the next stage. Anyways, to hear more about the game from the pros watching in the lounge, let's send it over to Freak, who's standing by with the Brazilian and North American junglers.
Thank you very much, Quickshot. Great cast on the day. I'm here with 2 amazing junglers here with Revolta and Mike Young. And I mean, the first question is, after watching Karsa just demolish Korea too clawedly, it seems like, the question is, why can't you guys do that?
I mean, Karsa's just so good. I mean, I wish I was good like him.
Well, I feel the same way. Like, he just played a really good game on Kha'Zix. I mean, there's nobody can really take away from that.
And I mean, it was in one of the most flashy ways possible. Red Smite, Duskblade second. I mean, it's a joy to watch someone bring out something so dynamic and high profile and just demolish people and just kind of fanboy over Karsa being this insane.
I mean, it's really hard to play like Red Smite when you are like playing LCS or CBLOL because you want all vision and stuff like that. But this is also like, if you got a kill, you're gonna snowball the game. That felt like solo kill actually, and he was like running over the entire game.
I appreciate like how he played really confident, even though he was playing against the Korean super team. I think that's like how a lot of players, a lot of junglers should play during this All-Stars.
I know you made your name as well, Mike Young, playing incredibly aggressively, the Italy, highlights we've all seen and whatnot. It's something actually that both Yankos and Power of Evil mentioned a few hours ago talking to them here, that the game feels a lot faster, a bit more snowbally, that there just are so many more kills right now in League of Legends. Have you experienced the same with preseason?
Yeah, I mean, there's too much damage in the game right now. I mean, there are champions like MF and JF that whenever they're in the game, you can just lose in 10 minutes. Like, they're so powerful. And I think that's because of the new runes. They do so much damage. So, yeah, it's really faster.
You feel the same way?
Yeah, pretty much like with new runes, people are just figuring stuff out. So there's just people experimenting and figuring out what works, and that usually results in kills.
And speaking of what works, of course, you two had played against each other earlier in the day. Zoe came through in our first matchup, and you talked to me about the logic behind it. If you'd mind sharing.
Yeah, so I've never played against Zoe myself. Every single solo queue game she's banned, and we made a bet. We didn't want to give them Jace, and we had one ban left, so we chose to ban Jace, and we gave them Zoe. And we thought, okay, we think Malzahar is going to win against Zoe. It's going to be a really amazing pick. And ends up, I think we were wrong. Zoe seems like really broke. She does too much damage. I mean, there was one time that I got slapped by her E, and then I just insta died, and I was like, what? What just happened?
Strong champion.
Yeah, really strong champion. Fun champion.
So never again will Zoe be left up to be picked.
Oh, maybe. Maybe we found something. I don't know.
All right, yeah, I mean, innovation's always fun to see. So the 1v1 is going to be happening next up. Unfortunately, neither of you got elected to do that. What was the process like? Why did you send the players you did from your respective regions? Mike, we'll start with you.
Well, personally, I wasn't really even asked because I guess the jungler role can't 1v1. But
Levi's going.
oh, that's true. That's true. But as for NA, Bjergsen and Sneaky, I believe in them.
Well, like, for me, the last time I played 1v1s wasn't really fun. I died level 2 as Cassiopeia, so yeah, that wasn't really nice.
You can share that with your teammates, but you think they're going to do well? They're going to win?
Well, I hope Vert wins against Faker because he's got one shot to be a legend. So yeah, I hope he wins.
Well, I hope Bjergsen's going to win because I'm his personal 1v1 trainer.
So give me the lowdown. What's his strats going to be? Leak the strats, dude.
Same strats as usual. Just play mid lane, play mid champions. Maybe some of my cheese picks that worked on him.
Some of your cheese picks. Well, we'll have to share this with us later on if he does well or if he loses. Gentlemen, thank you very, very much for your interview. Let's toss it down to the analyst desk to talk about those games a bit more.
Thank you very much, Freaka. Quick preview of what we might see in the 1v1 tournament still to come. But before we get there, we've got to close out the best of, or not the best of fives, the actual 5v5 Summoner Rift games. Man, I'm still in Worlds mode half of the time. But either way, LCK of all teams here, right? The Dream Super Team. That's what we call them. Top of the day.
Yeah,
There's no bigger accolade than being the Dream Super Team from the LCK. And then you lose to the Dream Super Team of the LMS.
Absolutely, and I was guilty, I think, of anyone of thinking that it would follow this very predictable cadence, because we've seen games where the LCK have fallen behind, but they tracked it very well on the cast about how the gold lead wasn't expanding, right? It's still LCK. They drafted pushing lanes. They were pushing up. They were pushing up. They were keeping thing, and you're like, okay. And you kind of trick yourself. I'm going to use an analogy. It kind of felt at the start, and in these games, it usually feels like it's a superhero movie, and you're 30 minutes in, and the superhero's in peril, and you think, well, he's not going to die. There's still an hour of film left here, right? That's what you usually feel like with the LCK. You think they're going to push through and win. But what happened here, the superhero was Karsa. Karsa popped off in a way that can't really be
You
described.
turned out to be like Bizarro Superman.
I know,
or
I know.
You're
right.
actually the villain.
Exactly. That's you live long enough, etc. Batman reference. But what I want to say here is that although they were stabilizing, although the gold was in their control, there was never a person who stepped up and you think they're going to win around this bit, they're going to win around this player. It was Karsa that the game transpired around.
And even beyond winning around a person, I think winning around an area of the map, right? Because we talked a little bit about it with Reckless, and he was talking about how mid lane is where a lot of the early vision stems from. And if you lose control of mid lane early on, vision right now is so snowbally with zombie wards and everything really propagating that effect that once you lose control of the vision around mid lane, and then you can't go to the side lanes anymore because there's this Fed assassin, it really does kind of collapse, even around Korea that are trying to control all these aspects.
Right.
The LMS were able to take away a lot of those options.
I mean, so interesting then, because you already referenced Reckless, and as well, we asked him, you know, what's a pick that he might think is being overlooked right now, and Kha'Zix was exactly that pick. So when you talk about vision, we heard Zyrene saying, you know, with the evolved R, the ability to jump from bush to bush through the river and really snake around that vision in the mid lane. I mean, Faker We heard it. 1-7-2 scoreline. That's next to unheard
They
of
also
for
gave him Zoe. They also gave Zoe.
They also gave Zoe. I'm not even criticizing Faker. I'm just saying that's something that you don't normally see. And for a man who's well practiced in the mid lane, we saw what not being able to necessarily sense that gank pressure from the Kazakhs resulted in.
And specifically, it's also like blue side Kazakhs. In the LPL, we see this pick a lot. It was Clearlove who really started it. And what you do is, it's exactly as Irene said. When you evolve R and you are able to proc the invisible passive by running through the brush, if you're from blue side and the brushes that run around the top of the Baron pit, you can get underneath all of that vision and they'll never see you. And that was where Carson was actually catching Faker out a lot. He would run up the side of that, go into the bush, Faker would try to push out the lane and clean up some CS, and suddenly he's now 0-7.
All right, utilize that in your solo queue games. That's going to do it for the Battles on Summoner's Rift today. Before we jump into Howling Abyss, let's go ahead and take a look at the standings. In Group A, the team from the LMS reigns supreme with the Korean representatives behind them, while the LPL All-Stars top Group B, leaving Southeast Asia and Brazil winless after day one. I saw that fist pump, Prosker. But here we go.
Didn't lie.
Of course, we're only through day one here, so not even every team within a group has played, everyone else within their group. But what's our initial, kind of assessment of these group standings with LMS? Hey, out to the lead in Group A.
It's flatter, right? It is more of a flatter than the big divide we were expecting to see. NA had a good time in the early game as China. LMS were able to actually run over the LCK in general. So sure, there are some early favorites, but it feels like the meta is starting to settle, and the standings, I think, will settle with them with 6 more games played
Is the meta
tomorrow.
I was gonna say,
Starting.
I've seen a lot of preseason games where they are super damage heavy, and super damage heavy team compositions for both sides. Those games are really volatile. So with these group stages being so short, and we have only a couple days here of All Stars, I feel like the groups themselves extremely volatile. So we very well could have some of those tiebreaker situations, and those, I believe, are settled with 1v1 shootouts. So that could be even more exciting and come down to a couple, very small things.
And I also really want to go back to just how volatile LMS versus LCK just was. Yes, the LMS had a huge victory right there, but if you go back to champions, Zoe goes through and Faker had the opportunity that he could have counterpicked or taken a mid lane before Azir and Ryze were banned.
Right.
And we talked about this, and they let it go through. So this might have just been Korea, maybe being a little bit cocky, maybe Faker thinking it's fine, we can give away these champions, I can deal with it. And I don't think they're going to make that same mistake again.
Well, you can tell he wasn't happy with the loss, or rather the result of the game. So we'll see what they come back with tomorrow in terms of the 5v5s. While that takes place, we'll see. Oh, woof. Hey, now it's time to focus in on the 1v1 tournaments. There it is, which kicks off after the break. Here we get a look at one half of the bracket. Faker versus Vert. Bjergsen versus Fofo, who's put up some big performances today, of course, on that Zoe pick.
That's
so
the
True Zoe player.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure anyone's going to get Zoe in the 1v1, but, hey, a mid lane matchup there. We heard from Mike Young that a lot of mid lane focus picks for Bjergsen in the practice. Any particular matchup, though, that's jumping out at you that could be exciting here?
It doesn't have to be Bjergsen versus Fofo, and doesn't it have to be Zoe versus Zoe mirror match?
Wouldn't that be something? Hey, if they agree on it, right? Froggen, he got a lot of people to agree to a lot of really weird 1v1 rule sets when he was wreaking havoc through the tournament. I think Uzi and Levi is the other big one that I'm looking at. Obviously, Uzi, our defending champion, is going to be interesting to see if he makes it to that final round, has the opportunity to defend his title.
Bit of a dark horse. Now, I know there's hype on Uzi, but Mako is also in this, and he's one of the few support players, I think one of 2 right now. And the thing is Mako doesn't play support in solo queue, and he is a very high-ranking challenger on both the Chinese and the Korean server, and he plays mostly mid lane. He is a very
I've played against his Zed.
Mean Zed. I was just about to bring it up. So
Yeah.
I think people will really overlook his mechanical ability.
Yeah, I played against his Zed. It was not pretty, to say the least.
He
We'll
holds
see which of
grudges.
those matchups deliver after the break. Before we go, there's been a debate on what's the best champ to pick in a 1v1, so we sent Avali May to find out firsthand.
Hey, it's Avali. We're here at All Stars, and we checked in with some fans to see what they had to say. Who do you think is the strongest 1v1 champion?
Zoe.
Maybe Lee Sin. I really like Lee Sin.
Faker.
No, champion.
Faker.
Zoe's overpowered right now. Yeah, she's gonna one-shot you, probably after level 6.
Do you have the mechanical skill to play Lee Sin?
I don't at all. I'm terrible. But I'm actually really excited to see Doublelift in the 1v1 competition.
Oh, you're just rubbing it in his face, aren't you?
Oh, is he not here?
Faker is not a League of Legends champion. I'm talking Zoe, we've heard Lee Sin.
I'm still going with Faker.
gonna give you a high five. Yeah. Stay tuned for more of our fan coverage of all things All-Stars.